like, what in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. I got something pretty cool today. It's a 1990 Saab 900. It's an S model, and you know, it's a coupe two-door. Very cool little car. I got this actually from a customer of mine. He actually, if you remember on Bring a Trailer, I had that white Land Rover. He fell in love with it, and he ended up not winning the bid, but he had this car and he was kind of gonna make a little trade, so we ended up making the trade. But I had another Land Rover project, and I ended up buying this one from him, and we're kind of working on the Land Rover for him. So anyways, I love these cars. When I was a kid in high school, I tried to buy a couple of them. Problem was, I was in high school and I didn't have any money, and the salesman pretty much ran me off the lot. And so I love these cars. I actually drive a turbo every day in '86 as my daily driver, and so there's cool cars. So we'll walk around and look at different things, hear about it. And it's not perfect. It's mostly original paint, I believe, so we'll show you different things. But I'll go ahead and show you the lights working. We've got our marker lights on the side, headlights, fog lamps, and then you got your bright lights. There you go. And you can see here on the fog lamp, there's a little crack right there, and the other one looks in good shape. And you can see it has a bra. I actually have a bra on mine too. I think they look cool, you know, from the 80s. And there is a little dent right here, and you'll see a picture of it. And I didn't put it on there because of that. I don't like rock chips and stuff. So, but I show a picture of it in the auction with it off there. So, anyways, the paint actually is in pretty good shape, and you can hear the fan turn on there, and the fans work. But the paint's in pretty good shape. It's got some chips. It's got some little scratches and different things. But overall, I think it's in nice shape. This thing spent a lot of its life in the garage, because what's amazing is how nice these are on it. They're not all faded out or anything, and the mud flaps. These aren't all warped up. Usually these Saabs, they didn't last real long, you know, especially in the elements. And overall, it's in really good shape. You can see right here, there was actually a dent in this door at one point, and I think it was a pretty bad one, because you can see some paint cracking right there, some paint cracking here. But one of those paintless dent guys kind of moved it out, especially because it is original paint. You kind of want to keep it as original, but you can see some little tiny waves and stuff, but it actually doesn't look real bad. You got to be right in the right light to look at it, but every once in a while you'll notice it more than other times. You can see some little scratches right here, and I'll show you the windows working real fast. You can hit the windows. Go ahead and roll that one back down. You can see some little scratches too right there. You can see the other one went down too. Go ahead and show the wipers work, and the window squirters, they work too. And you can see some on the bumper and stuff. You can see some little, you know, checking and stuff. You know, oxidation, pretty typical on a lot of these cars in general. And little scuffs right there. You can see a little condensation in the light, some little cracking. You know, this car is just a really nice driver overall, and you know, in really pretty good shape. And we'll go back here to the quarters. One thing I loved about these quarters is these little windows pop out, and you know, you let airflow and stuff go through there. But we can see here, quarter panel looks great. And again, that molding looks in very good condition. And what amazes me on this, you know, mine have completely fell off, and this is telltale sign that this was garaged, and because this is in amazing shape. You can see the roof looks great. You can see a little bird dropping probably here on the paint. Go ahead and open the sunroof. It's a power sunroof. Not all of them are power. My other car isn't power, and so that works. One thing right here you can see on the paint, you can see this little, there's just this little filler part here. The paint came off and got thin right there. When I first saw that, I was thinking, well, maybe the car has been repainted, but it definitely hasn't, because I've looked at a lot of things about it, and you can see all the VIN stickers and stuff, and there's no tape lines or anything. I think someone just took nice care of the car, but this paint here must have been real thin from the factory. Go around here to the back, you know, one little scratch right here. So what we'll do here is we'll flip it around and let you take a look at the other side. So go ahead and show you the lights. We got marker lights, and we got blinkers. Got your right and left. We got brake lights. Got brake lights, and then we got reverse. And everything's working back there. That's nice. You can see here the third light, brake light, is working too. And the power antenna, go ahead and shut it off and take the key out. The power antenna does work as well. You know, so that works. So go ahead and look at some of the body and stuff. The body looks really good, and you can see here the, you know, just the sun fade and stuff on top of the bumpers, and pretty common, but you know, absolutely no rust and no accident damage. I mean, everything looks really clean. You can see a little chip there, you know, around the window and stuff. The gutters, you know, look really good. You can see the original, you know, spot welds and stuff in there. You know, this car hasn't spent a lot of time outside in general, and you know, it's just been driven, and it makes someone a really nice driver. You can see there's no rust down here in the bottom of the quarters, you know, but you'll see little tiny scuffs, little tiny scratches, little fade here on the molding. And one thing I love these vents on these cars. I've always liked those, and they just look kind of cool. And you can see it's got the original mud flaps on the bottom there. You can see underneath the car and behind the wheel there. You can see a little bit of curb rash right here on the wheel. The tires are Bridgestones, and they're P 185/65/15, and they look in nice shape. You can see a couple little bit of curb rash there too. I didn't look on the other side. There's probably a couple little spots on the wheel. There's one there on that one there. This one actually looks pretty good, but overall the car looks really good. And just go ahead and look at the fenders. You know, looks really clean and really nice. So one thing on the S models compared to the turbo models, a lot more chrome. You know, usually these are blacked out. It's got chrome door handles, chrome around the windows, and that's one of the biggest differences, besides, you know, obviously having a turbo. But hopefully that gives you a good look of the exterior of the car. You know, just a nice car. We'll show you some more stuff. Okay, going to go ahead and show you the interior. I pulled it in the shade here a little bit. Actually, you can actually see a little bit better overall, and overall the interior is actually really in pretty good shape. You know, it's factory leather, and but you get on the leather in general, you know, start getting some age. You can see a little wear spot through there, some little cracking and stuff, but you know, pretty typical on these cars, and or actually any car with leather. You can see a little stitching right there pulled apart. You know, the dash, I love the way these are laid out, actually. You know, again, I mentioned I drive one of these every day. It's actually right there, and I just love the way they look. I feel like I'm in an airplane. And you can see here, dash pad does have some cracks on this one, so it does have a little cover, and it's not protecting anything anymore. And but overall, it just makes it look a little nicer. That's the way I got it. And you can see it's got an aftermarket radio and stuff. Everything seems to work. The odometer reads 74,000, and I know that that's not true. That got changed out a few years ago, and I think the car's got about 145. I'll have to double check my paperwork on that. You can see here the seat belts, the little orange things are missing, and it still clicks in there and clicks out. One thing that's always unique about these Saabs is that the key is down there. You got to have it in reverse. Pull this lever up to put it in reverse, and then you can take the key out. There's this for the roof there, windows, and overall it's in pretty good shape. You can see the door panels in nice condition. You can see it's got its factory panels all on it with the VIN numbers. If you look inside the jams, all the panels have them, and so it's definitely got the original body panels and haven't been repainted. You can see here the seat in the back barely looks used, in nice shape. You can check out the headliner. It's got a couple right there in the back. It's got a couple little tiny sags, but nothing major. Mine in my 86 has just fallen down, and but this one's actually in pretty good shape. You can see the dome light works. I'll go ahead and pop on the other side, and you can take a look at the other side of it. Here we are on the passenger side, and I just wanted to show you the seat and door panel on this side. Just give you a look of it, and overall it looks pretty good. That's a little cover for the radio. This one actually is pretty nice. Usually these are coming off, and you can see a little bit here. This little section of the dash, it's just a glue-on piece. This actually looks really good. You can see a couple little spots right here, which is really typical, but a lot of times they start peeling on the edge. And this one's actually really nice. You can see it lifts just a little bit right there, but that's really minor for these cars. You can check out the door panel. Again, it's in excellent shape. You can see the VIN number there. You can see inside the jams, again, no accidents, and looks really clean. You can see the VIN again, and so hopefully that gives you a good idea of the interior in general. We'll go ahead and take a look underneath the trunk here. You can see this little tray here. The seats actually fold down. Inside the trunk looks really good. It's got the original spare tire. Got the original tool thing. This actually just needs to be snapped, but you can see here the tools. They're in there. Something's missing there. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And but overall it's pretty clean. In here you can see it's not rusty. Let me snap that up there. It actually looks in really good shape. You can see the original color code and VIN number again. Again, the spare looks good, and you can see the original spot welds and everything around the deck lid here. You can see inside here, and no tape marks or anything. So this here is the bra, the bottom half. So if you want to put the bottom half, you can. I never liked the bottom half on. I just like it on the hood. So hopefully that gives you a good look at the interior. We'll go ahead and pop the hood. There's a lever inside underneath the dash. You come out here, and there's another little lift thing. It's got to push that down, and then it lifts it up. then folds it forward. You can see there. Then you just flip it up. You know, overall, it's actually pretty clean engine compartment. You know, it looks good, and again, no accident damage or anything. No crinkle marks. You know, sounds good. You know, sometimes when it's sitting, you'll hear a little, you know, little lifter tick until the oil gets up there. You know, the longer it sits, the little longer it'll take. It just kind of goes away, but it's not any worry. It's just when the car sits for longer periods of time. You know, 4 or 5 days. But you know, if you drive it every day, you don't hear anything. So go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You know, it sounds good. The oil looks good. Water looks good. We did actually put a steering rack in it, and it just all of a sudden, you know, it's just cars. Sometimes just things happen, and we were getting ready to photo it a little while ago, and all of a sudden a leak showed up, an oil leak, and looked underneath there, and the steering rack went bad, and so we put a new one in it. So it's just cars. That's what's fun about it. You know, you get to do a lot of unexpected little things that you weren't planning on doing, and you get to learn about them at the same time. So overall, you know, the engine looks good. Go ahead and rev it from this side too. You know, sounds good. You can see here the original VIN tag as well, and it is also on the windshield over there. And you'll also see the VIN up here on the hood, the tag, so that's really good. So anyways, hope that gives you a look underneath the bonnet there, and we'll put it up on my lift so you can see underneath there too. Cruising around a little Saab. Love driving these cars, and you know, they're just fun. I love sitting behind the wheel here. Definitely feel like I'm in a little airplane. I think that's when I first got when I was young, when I was telling you guys in high school and stuff, when I was sitting behind the wheel, I just really felt, I don't know, like I was in an airplane, and that's what made me excited about them. And then I found out later, I didn't even know that, you know, born of jets. I mean, these cars were originated from an airplane company, so they did a good job in that way. But I just wanted to show you different stuff on the dash as we drive it, and the heater works. Hopefully you can hear the fan. You can hear the blower works. The AC, everything's hooked up, but it doesn't blow cold. That's something I haven't looked at or even charged. It's got power mirrors. There's one for the right, and then there's another one over here for the left, and they both work. The horn only works on the left, not on this side. And if you look in the by the way, you can see the steering wheel's bouncing around here a little bit. This road is really bouncy, and so I'm not just making that up, and but this is the way that road is. But you can see the tach works, the odometer works, speedometer, and fuel gauge, and the temperature gauge works. All the idiot lights work and stuff. It's got cruise control as well, but it's not working currently right now. But overall, I mean, mechanically and stuff, and all the electronics and stuff seem to be in pretty good shape. It's just a nice driving car, and I think it'll last someone for a long time. And so we'll just cruise, and I'll show you some other stuff about it here in a few. Hey, here you are. We're going to take a look underneath the little Saab. You know, as you know, we've been doing videos underneath the cars. Just gives you a better perspective, and it lets me be able to talk about the cars in general. It's one of the first things that I look at when I go look at a car. Everything can look pretty on the outside, but I want to see what's underneath. I want to see the bones of it, and so I just thought it was important to do a video underneath, and you'll still see the still photos and stuff. So we'll just start from the front to the back. You know, this car seems to be pretty accident free. Everything looks good, and if you look up inside, you know, the aprons and stuff, you know, very clean and not rusty. You can look here, up here around the nose, again in great condition, and I haven't seen any issues. You look at the frame, and you know, you really can't call it a frame, it's a unibody car, but you look at the frame rails and everything, they look real good. One thing you'll notice, there's a little bit of you can just see here kind of little oil. This steering rack here was leaking really bad, and so we ended up putting a brand new steering rack in it. It was something that I wasn't planning on doing, but we went ahead and did it, and so that's a brand new rack, actually a remanufactured rack, and everything's good there. You look at the up here, the brake lines look good right up here. I've inspected those and they look in nice shape, and you can see here the boot isn't torn or anything like that. You can see up here on the axle, you know, in very good shape. You look up here on the other side. Those are just things you want to look at on any of these cars. And axle boot looks good. Go ahead and look at the brake line. Looks to be in good shape. Actually, I can see right there. Didn't notice that. It's just the outer piece, the braided lines inside, but that's something down the road you could probably get changed. And we'll go ahead and look over on the other side. You know, that brake line looks in good shape, and we cleaned some of this area out here just from that steering. It was just leaking and stuff, so we just kind of cleaned some of the area out. Just wanted to see if there was no rust or anything in there. So you can see here we cleaned inside the wheel well as well a little bit. So you can look at the floors. They look really, really, really nice. Very, very clean, and actually very impressive on this car. You can see here. You look at the bottom of the rockers. You know, again, really nice. You know, sometimes these cars can get rusty. It's because these drains right here get clogged. And that one's nice and clean. But you can look right here. There's another drain there. But very clean, and just the way you want to see them. I like Saabs a lot. You guys already probably know that. I drive one of these every day. It's my daily driver. It's a little 86, and I just like this car. It was actually in pretty good shape. I thought about giving it to my daughter, and maybe I should have, and she kind of likes mine, and you know, so, but I didn't. So you look up here, no accident damage across the back here, you know, very clean. Right in here is important, you know, no rust. Up there behind the wheel, that's an area that gets hidden because you got your bumper on the outside. So if you look up there, very nice condition. So hopefully that gives you a good idea underneath of it. Overall real clean. The exhaust looks good. I don't see any leaks. Catalytic converter's still on it, and engine looks pretty dry. You know, you'll see a little seepage, and but nothing that seems like it's hitting the floor or anything like that. And I've had it here for a little while, just kind of messing with it and driving it. So anyways, hope that helps you out.